Girls, we have missed you and we are so sad not to be with you tonight, but we're so excited to be hosting Little Women like this virtually. I'm hosting from my house. This is my home. Welcome. I hope that you're watching comfortably from your home, and hopefully you got a little package like this in the mail this week. It's got some goodies in it, like a button with what would have been last month's Bible verse, a sticker with our memory verse from the year, some cards with all of our Bible verse art, and then a baggie that's got our contents for the craft tonight, and a bag of Skittles that we'll use for our experiment. A couple of things before we get started. You should have gotten an email this morning that would have had our coloring page for tonight in it. If you want to color that while you're listening to the lesson, that would be a great time to do so. The other thing is about our experiment. We got you Skittles, but you're also going to need a cup of warm water, and you're going to need a plate. Either a white plate or a clear plate that you can put on a white piece of paper would work best. If at any point you need a break or you need a pause to gather some supplies, just hit pause. We'll still be here when you get back. If we were together right now, we'd be standing in a huge circle before we have dinner, and I'd tell you our Bible verse for tonight. It comes from Psalms, and it says, "Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces will never be ashamed." And then I'd ask you if we can say it all together. It goes something like this. I'd say those who, and you say look to him. Let's try. Those who, I can't hear you, but I'm sure you did a good job. Then I would say are, and you would say radiant. Let's try it. Are, good job. And lastly, I would say their faces will never be, and you would say ashamed. Their faces will never be. Good job. Let's try it all together. Those who are, their faces will never be. Good job. Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces will never be ashamed. Psalm 34:5. Those that look to him are radiant, and their faces will never be ashamed. This year, we're talking all about the splendor of the Lord and how we, you and me, were created to reflect the splendor and glory of the Lord. One way that we can do that is by simply looking to him, because like our verse says tonight, when we look to him, our faces are radiant. Tonight, we're going to look at the story of one of Jesus's friends, Peter, and how Peter looked to the Lord when he was facing some trouble. Jesus and his disciples have just fed the 5,000 in Matthew 14, when Jesus puts his disciples on a boat and sends them off into the water while he stays behind to pray. This is what it says next. But the disciples, who were now in the middle of the lake, ran into trouble, for their boat was tossed about by the high winds and the heavy seas. At about 4 o'clock in the morning, Jesus came to them, walking on the waves. When the disciples saw him walking on top of the water, they were terrified and screamed, "A ghost!" So Jesus has put the disciples in a boat and he sent them off. And while they're in the middle of the water without him, they run into trouble. I think all of us, everybody in the world, feels like the world has run into a bit of trouble right now. I think that all of us could probably guess how the disciples were feeling, because when we run into trouble, it's often a little bit troubling. And I want you to hear that in their trouble, Jesus came to them. And the same is true for us. In our trouble, Jesus comes to us. The Bible calls Jesus Emmanuel, which means God with us, which means Jesus was God who came to be with us in trouble and to save us from it. In John 16, Jesus says, "I have come that you might have peace. In this world you have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Jesus came to bring us peace in the midst of trouble. Trouble hasn't taken Jesus by surprise. Jesus, God, he is not surprised that we have trouble. He knew that. That's why he came, to be the peace in the midst of our trouble. So Jesus walks to them on the water that day, coming to them in their trouble. But the disciples are terrified at first because they don't know. They think he's a ghost. Who's this person walking on the water? God there with them, and they don't even realize who it is that's there with them. This actually happens a few times in the Bible where God shows up to be with people, and they don't even recognize at first that it is God that is with them. Sometimes it's because they don't recognize him, but sometimes it's because God shows up in unusual ways. In the Bible, we see God show up as a talking donkey, as a hand writing on the wall, in the wind, in angels that we don't know are angels, and in this case, like a ghost walking on the water. There's other stories like the woman at the well where the woman is talking to Jesus and she doesn't even know that it's Jesus that is sitting right there with her. The Bible tells us story after story where God is present and with people, and people don't even recognize at first that he's with them. And I say that because I think sometimes that happens to us too. It might be easy for us to know in our heads and in our minds, and that the Bible tells us over and over and over again that God is with us and that he will never leave us or forsake us. But sometimes when we're facing trouble, it can be hard for us to know that God is really with us. I was encouraged a few years ago to find some things in my life that remind me that God is with me, so that when I'm in the seasons where it's hard to remember that God is nearby and that he loves me, there would be some things that come to mind, things that I would see regularly that would remind me that he's never left me. Maybe for you, it would be a Bible verse or a song, or it might be the sunset or the sunrise. Maybe it's the beach or a smell. Maybe it's the way you feel when you take a walk or play an instrument. Maybe it's a song that you sing. Maybe it's some delicious food that your grandma makes. I don't know. But I would take some time, if I were you, to think about the things, the little gifts sprinkled in your life from the Lord that remind you that God is with you and that he loves you. Matthew 14 goes on to say this in verse 27. Then Jesus said, "Be brave and don't be afraid. I am here." I want to say that one more time. Jesus says, "Be brave. Don't be afraid. I am here." Peter then shouted, "Lord, if it's really you, then have me join you on the water." "Come and join me," Jesus replied. So Peter stepped out onto the water and began to walk toward Jesus. Peter is one of my most favorite people in the New Testament because I get the impression that he follows Jesus and thinks later, and I want to be like that. I love that about Peter in this instance. It's like he's not disturbed by the fact that there's a storm. He's not put off by the fact that the waves are going every which way. He's not concerned about his friends who are screaming. He's not worried that Jesus looks like a ghost or that he's walking on water. He's like, if this is where my Lord is, this is where I want to be. And so off he goes walking on the water. It says this, so Peter stepped out onto the water and began to walk toward Jesus. But when he realized how high the waves were, he became frightened and started to sink. "Lord, save me," he cried out. Jesus immediately stretched out his hand and lifted him up and said, "What little faith you have. Why did you let doubt win?" I love the phrasing of Jesus's words right there. Why did you let doubt win? I know that there's a lot of things that we might be doubting right now. I heard a definition of doubt recently. It went something like this. Doubt is too much confidence in the wrong things. When we are troubled, we get to choose what we put our confidence in. We get to choose. And we should choose. We get to choose to put our confidence in the right things. The right thing is Jesus. Always Jesus. Jesus is worthy of our confidence and our trust. We have no reason to doubt because he will not let us down. But I do want to make sure that you know that when we do doubt, God is a safe place to fail. I want you to hear that when Peter starts to doubt and starts to sink, it says Jesus reached out immediately. Immediately, Jesus reached out to save him. Yes, God wanted more for Peter than doubt, but Jesus was a safe place to fail. This year, we have talked about the splendor of the Lord and about how the Lord wants to display his splendor in us. Sometimes I think it can be easy to think that if we doubt or if we fail or if we sink like Peter did, somehow that reflects badly on the Lord. Sometimes I think we worry that if we make a mistake, it's somehow going to make God look bad. The Bible assures us that in our weaknesses, God is strong. When Peter began to sink, he looked to Jesus, and Jesus reached out and saved him. Peter's weaknesses didn't make God look bad. It was an opportunity for God to be strong, for God to put his power and glory on display. Our Bible verse today reminds us of this truth, that those who look to him are radiant. Their faces will never be ashamed. Peter could look to Jesus because he was with him. Girls, the same is true for us. We can look to him because he is with us, even in our troubles. I want to remind you one more time of Jesus' words to Peter and the disciples. Jesus said, "Be brave, don't be afraid. I am here." Girls, I think if Jesus was sitting in this room with us tonight, he would probably say something very similar. That we get to be brave and that we do not have to be afraid because he is with us. Like Jesus was there for Peter in his trouble, Jesus is with us in our trouble. And because of that, we can look to him. And when we look to him, our faces are radiant. You have been such wonderful listeners. Will you pray with me to close? Dear Jesus, thank you so much for these girls. Thank you for this opportunity to be together, even from far away. Father, thank you that because we know you and you are with us, we get to be brave. Thank you that when we look to you, we are radiant. I pray that we might know you and love you and know that we are loved by you. In your name I pray, amen. Our experiment tonight is this fun little rainbow fish. Remember, all of our experiments this year have been some sort of rainbow because rainbows don't create light. They simply reflect it in a spectacular way. And in the same way, we were made to reflect the splendor, glory, and radiance of the Lord in our own spectacular way. Because our story took place on a boat and on the water tonight, we are going to make a little water rainbow scene with Skittles. Create a scene on your plate. Maybe you want to make a fish, or the waves, or a boat. Be creative. When you have your scene set on your plate, slowly add warm water and then watch the colors run, and your picture will take on a rainbow-like quality. Our craft tonight is a rainbow necklace. Just one more reminder that we were made to reflect the glory, splendor, and radiance of the Lord. You're going to start by tying a knot at one end of your string, and then you're going to put on a fastener. You'll then start stringing the beads, starting with a white like a cloud, then a pink, then an orangish pink, and then orange, and then yellow, and then green, and then teal, blue, purple, fuchsia, followed by another white. You'll then want to stick on the other fastener and secure the end with another knot. The two knots will hold the fasteners in place so you can snap it together. While you're working on your necklaces, there are some friends who wanted to say hi.
Hi, all you little women. I miss seeing all of you so much, and I can't wait until we can be back together again. Until then, remember, Jesus loves you very much, and be safe.
And be gracious to you.
Hi, little women, we miss you.
Hi, girls, miss you.
Hi, little women, we just want you to know you are so loved and we really miss seeing you.
Hi, we miss you.
Hey, little women, we miss you.
Hi, fifth graders. I hope all of you guys are doing well and staying healthy. This is a crazy time, I know, but I am praying for you and your families. I hope that you are staying home, staying healthy, and I hope all of this will be over soon, and I will see you in September.
Hi, little women. I miss you so much. Hey, girls. I am missing you so much. I hope you're staying safe and having a good time with your family. I can't wait to see you again. We are so blessed Jesus moved so mightily through Miss Katie because she has a great lesson for us this week. So enjoy the lesson, stay strong, stay safe, and keep Jesus in your heart. Mwah! Love you.
Hi, sweet girls. Miss you and our Friday nights together.
Hi, little women. We wish we could be with you this month. We were going to make you hot dogs. So we're sorry to miss you, but we hope we see you next year. Bye.
Hi ladies, we miss you tonight in the craft room, and we hope that you enjoy and have a great time working on the craft tonight. Remember that Jesus loves you.
Hi girls, hope you're doing well. I miss you so much. Bye.
Hi little women, hope you're doing well and are enjoying your Friday. Miss you, bye.
Hi little women, we miss you. A shout out to my 4th grade friends. Hopefully you're having fun and enjoy the craft. And to all my 5th grade carpool buddies, I miss driving you to and from Little Women. Have a great night.
Hey little women, miss you all, especially my 6th graders, and I hope you all are doing well.
Hi guys, it's Miss Lays from the kitchen staff. Can't wait to see your guys' smiling faces soon. Hang in there guys, we'll get through it together. Bye.
Hey everyone! I just wanted to let you guys know that I love you all and I miss you so much.
Hey girls, it's Lauren. I just wanted to tell you that I'm thinking about you all and miss you and wish that we could all be together for Little Women this Friday, but can't wait to hear about how all your crafts and projects are gonna go, and I'm thinking about you all. Have a good day. Bye.
Hi everyone, I hope you all are staying safe and healthy, and I just want you to know that I miss all your smiles and I can't wait for the next time we can see each other. Bye.
Hey guys, it's Wendy Minetti from 4th grade. I just wanted to say hello and tell you how much I miss you guys. I'm excited you can do a little bit of Little Women tonight from home. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hi girls, I miss you so much. I hope you guys are staying safe. Love you.
Hi Little Women, I want you all to stand up and sing our theme song with me. We are God's chosen vessels. We are precious in His sight. Though we are young, we are noble, and we pledge to Him our lives. We are beautiful. We are beautiful. We are beautiful to God. We are beautiful. We are beautiful. We are beautiful to God. We are beautiful. We are beautiful. We are beautiful to God. We are beautiful. We are beautiful. We are beautiful to God.
Girls, be brave. Don't be afraid. He is with you. You are so loved. I'll see you soon.